Hello everyone, this is Susan from Susan Hiles Art and welcome to hashtag mobilecrafts. So this is a collaboration with Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming and everybody that's participating by doing YouTube videos. Their links are below in my description box. Be sure to head over and check them all out. And yeah, so let's begin. So this is a pretty wide open, as far as prompts go, there's just like so much here that I think it's awesome. You can really, pick and choose what you want to do for each week. But Sheree did come up with some of the prompts that, and again, they are just prompts so you can, pick and choose. But for today, October 14th is Masterboard, October 21st is books, October 28th is scraps, paper, fabric, magazines. So I have my, I'll try to remember to put my announcement video link below so you can go check it out. But all the information is down in my description box. So anyway, so what I'm going to do, I am going to work on a masterboard that I will cut up to make. I want to make 2 tags if possible, and I'm going to be using my stamps on scrap paper. So this is I'm not, as of right this second, I'm not using any fabric, it's just all papers. So that is my plan for today. So the theme behind this collaboration is, well, if you want to go sit in the living room and watch TV, what can you bring with you to work on while you're doing that? And even though I don't have a TV, I do spend time watching YouTube on my iPad or sometimes my computer, and I will craft while I'm watching videos. So the first thing I want to show you is, so say you were working in your living room on like a tray table, right? So this is an idea of what you could bring in there to work on a project. So of course you have, your smaller trimmers if you're working with paper. I forgot to put this in this bag. These are just some paper towels, but everything that I'm going to be using for the most part is in this baggie. It's like a gallon size food bag. It's not, but it's like that size. And I'll show you what I have in here. So I can easily bring all of my stuff into the other room. I do have inks that I want to bring, for this particular project as well. And I happen to already have it in like this little case. I have several of these little cases. They're pretty darn awesome. They are meant to put into a purse. Like, so if you switch purses a lot, you would put all of your stuff in here and then put this into your purse. And then when you go to switch purses, you would just take this out and put it into your other purse that you're switching to. And that's what this really is. I don't remember the name of it. I got these long ago, but I've used them for many years. Yeah, I like them very, very, very much. And since I am working with watercolor paints, I did put some tap water into this already used water bottle so that I do have some water. And of course it's easy to carry because, well, it has the top on it. So let me show you what I have in here and what my thought process is. Well, you know what? First, let me just real quick share with you the tags that I want to make are going to go into my cloth covered journal, my junk journal. And I'm thinking about making 2 tags, one for here, one for this pocket, and one for this. And you can see like there's pink, there's black, right? So those are maybe the colors I wanted to stick with for these tags. And that's kind of my thought process. If that happens, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. But in my bag that I would take with me into another area to craft, or even if you were like going to a crop or somebody else's house or whatever, this is a great way to just like bring a project in a bag. There you go. A project in a bag. I'm gonna coin that. That phrase. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a project in a bag. So even though I do have my distress inks, they are water soluble, so I wanted to make sure that I had some black ink that would not run, since I'm using watercolor paints, and I kind of have an idea in my head what I want to do, so I would need some permanent ink. I did grab just this one watercolor set. I think this is a Prima set. That's what I think. It's old. There's no markings on it or anything. Now this right here is actually what I would put my water in. So this is a portable little like cup thing to put water in. So like when I go to do my watercolor, I'll get the water from here. So I'll end up pouring this water into this. And you saw what I did. This collapses. It collapses. And then you just open it. This is made by Faber-Castell. So if you're interested, but I've had it for many years. I used to use it for my acrylic paints. It's a mess, but well loved. And I have, of course, little scissors. I have a paintbrush. I have 3 different kinds of adhesives, because you know what? You just never know. Right? You never know. So I have the adhesives. I do have a little spray bottle. It's a little one. It has water in it so that I can activate my watercolors. And I was looking through my stamps to see what I wanted to use, because you know I'm into this whole autumnal thing, yet I'm doing something that has a lot of pink in it. But anyway, I have just these different stamps that yeah, I just thought were pretty. So I'll see. I really don't know which one I'm going to use. I really like this bird. I like the flowers. And then there's this pretty penny black stamp with the 2 little birds there. So I don't know. I don't know which of these I'm going to use, but you kind of see my theme I have going on here. So also in my bag, well, I do have my paper towels, right? Because you need paper towels, especially like if you're watercoloring, but you always have a couple paper towels with you just in case. And I have... This is what I'm going to do my Masterboard on, is this right here. I just need to do it this size right here to cover the front of my 2 tags. And for my tags, I'm going to use these. I had just purchased some dry herbs, and these basically advertisements really came in that box. And I just thought that they would be perfect for the tags for the pages that I'm looking for, so I'm going to use them. So those will end up being my actual tags. All right, so let's get started. I guess the first thing that I'm going to do is let's just get some color down. So I'm going to go ahead and take my little spray bottle, and let's activate these watercolor paints. And I'm going to go ahead and pour some water in here. So I have that. I have that. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these paper towels. I don't need the ink right now, and I don't need the glue right now, but I do need my brush. So this is not watercolor paper. It's going to just go right into it. It's, you know, good watercolor paper. You can really kind of manipulate the paint, the watercolor paint, and you can make it do beautiful things. But on something like this, it's just gonna get sucked in. So I think what I'm gonna do, since I'm kind of I want some sort of pink, right? So I'm just going to start just by placing down some pink onto my masterboard. So this is my masterboard that I'm working on, right? I just want to get some color down. So a couple reasons why I went with watercolor paint as opposed to acrylic paint. Obviously you can use whatever, is because, well, it's really hard to stamp on acrylic. If you've ever tried to do that, it just, well, because acrylic is plastic, right? So it can be a little difficult to get a good stamp on acrylic paint. So that's why I decided to go with watercolor, and because I have a lot of watercolor and I haven't used it in a while. So, all right, so that's the start of our background. So I'm just gonna go ahead, clean off my brush, and we can move that to the side, as well as we can move that to the side. So that's the beginnings. I'm not going to use an acrylic block. I'm just going to leave these on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to think too much about it. You know what? I think this is totally dried out. Oh, that's a fun mark making. Oh, that was fun. Oh, I'm going to do some of that. Oh my gosh. I'm going to pull back in a little bit more of the candied apple before. I think I'm going to do something I haven't done in for forever, and I'm sure you guys know this, but you can, you know, once you have ink like this that is water soluble, you can go ahead and spray on it and then stamp. So I sprayed, oh, look at how beautiful that is. See, but the only thing with this is that is dark, right? That is super dark. And now I don't know if I'm going to get my focal stamp on here, because I wanted a focal stamp, meaning like a bird or something. Now I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I may not, and that's okay. I will just maybe make my smaller tag with this part of the masterboard. I could do that because I think that's super pretty. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so that's that one. So on this side, what I think I'll do is more floral. All right, so I have the worn lipstick and the spiced marmalade. I'm just gonna stamp and let's see. Okay, very subdued. I like that. See, now this one I will definitely be able to do my original plan, because by not spraying the water on there, it's not as bold as that. So these flowers are kind of sticking in the background. So what I will do, since I'm using the flowers that came with this bird, I'm going to end up stamping this bird on here, and I think I'm gonna add maybe just a little bit of a darker, maybe like a brown and whatever, to color the bird in. But I'm gonna go ahead and just do the same thing. So but you can see the flowers in the background. That's perfect for a masterboard. But it's nice to have some black because it helps the other colors pop a little bit. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'll stick with the distress ink. I'll go grab the black soot, and I think I'll grab just this little leaf, and let's get some black on here. Okay, so I think that is really good for this side right here. If I cut this area for my tag, I think I'm in good shape right there. So these are the tags. And I didn't put the bird on here yet because I want to get it onto the paper first. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and glue these on here. So I'm going to grab my Boohoo glue stick. I hope it's still good. I've had this for a while. These are my favorite, really, glue sticks. And a long time ago I had bought a box of them, and I used, I think, all but 2. So you know what, instead of them sitting in my cabinet, in my stash, I pulled them out to use them. So I know I want this one here, and I know I want it this way. So we're going to go like that. So that this is going to be the front of the tag. And actually, you know what? I'm going to see if I can just kind of tear this, because I'm going to be putting this on the back of the tag. But I want to get these papers down first, and then cut these out, and then we can get the backs on. What's nice is that with these lines on this paper, it makes it really easy to put these down straight. Oh my gosh. All right, so obviously I could cut this with scissors, or I can cut it with my trimmer, since I have my trimmer here. I think I'm just gonna do that. All right, so those are cut. Look at how pretty that is. That's gonna make a beautiful tag. Beautiful. Okay, Lots of pink. Probably more pink than I was originally thinking, but that's okay. That's all right. It'll all work out. All right, so now the next step is I am going to glue these down. I'm going to use this same paper to get the, you know, something onto the back of my tags. So what is really cool about this is that this piece of, it's, you know, Stampin' Up! Grid paper, I think it's called. I'm using a whole entire piece of it. So that kind of feels good, right? When you do something like that, it feels really good to use something that will no longer be in my stash. All right, so that's going to be the backs of them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this up now. Okay, so now I have the fronts and I have the backs. And now let's go ahead and we're going to cut these into tag shape. And then we're going to finish up this bigger tag because I want to get a little bit more stamping done. And I don't think that I'm going to put holes in the top of these. I don't think. What I do want to do, I think to this one, is I want to take a little bit of this black soot. And let's go ahead and we're going to put some black around the edges. Yeah, I think that that looks nice. I kind of feel like I want some circles on here. So I happen to have this set of Stabilo markers right here on my desk. So I grabbed a black. So I'm just going to do some circles on it. So again, I like that black. Doesn't it make the rest of it like really pop? Right? Let me see, should I zoom in some? I can zoom in just a little bit here. Okay, so I like that. I'm kind of feeling like this might be done. So I like that. So what I would do, and I won't leave it in here, but this one, because I want it to dry, it's wet. I can feel like the whole thing is wet. But that can go in there on that side. I like that. So what I would probably do to this page is bring in some of this worn lipstick. So I don't know. I would just kind of maybe put some around. I mean, since it's already in here, it's kind of hard to put ink around the edges, but you know me, I'm a messy kind of crafter, so something like that where it pulls in just a little bit of the pink, I like that. Let me see, let me just do a little bit around this. Like that. That's perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and get this bird on here. Now he comes with a tree branch. So maybe I'll just kind of put him in the middle like that, I think is good. But this time I'm going to go ahead and use my archival ink. And yeah, because I don't want, if I do decide to put some more watercolor on here, at least this ink won't move around. And I probably should like really have an acrylic block, right? I don't remember the last time I used an acrylic block. I'm sure, you know, I don't know. I'm more of a just kind of wing it kind of gal. So, all right, and this will go here. So that will be our focal point on this one. Yes, perfect. I want to get a little bit of brown on there. So on this one, this ended up being the focal point. So I could always put like a little quote or phrase, you know, word or whatever down here. I could do that, but I'm not going to worry about that now. But the last thing, well, one of the last things I want to do to this, I still want to edge it with something, but I do want to get a little bit of either brown or, well, I'm going to pull in maybe just a little bit of brown. Now I want to be careful because I just want to give it a little bit of color. So I still want to be able to see the stamp under it. So it's going to be very transparent. So I'm dabbing off on my paper towel because I don't want to pull in too much brown and cover up that stamping. Yeah, I want the bird to stick out, right? I want to be able to see him clearly. I think on the legs, I'm going to put a little bit of black. So a little bit of black on his legs. And the tree, I'm going to put a little bit of brown, a little bit darker brown. That's too dark. Watercolor paint is very forgiving. And I'm not, you know, I'm using a big brush. I'm not worried about staying in the lines too much. Now the only other thing I want to bring into this bird is I think I want to bring in maybe just a little bit of pink, like up here, to give him a little bit more of a fun, happy color for some brightness. And maybe here on his chest and his tail. And I think for his beak, we'll just do a little tad of red. Oh, that didn't grab it. All right, let's try that again. And yeah. So that, right, so now you can see the bird on there, right? Because before, when he was stamped on, and not that, you know, it was wrong to just stamp him on there, but I wanted to add just a little bit of color. And now I'm going to show you where this goes. After we put a little bit of dark, I think I'm going to put black around the edges on this one, on this tag. All right, so I'm going to grab my black soot. And let's get this on here. And we're almost done. So remember to check out Sheree's channel. Her link is below at Turquoise Dreaming. And also everybody that is participating today. I think I'll pull in a little bit of some sort of something else. You know, I'm into the circles. I think that circles can go on pretty much anything, anywhere. You know what I could do? Well, maybe what I'll do is I'll do some black splattering on this. So I'm going to go in here and let's get this black really wet We'll bring it over here, and we're going to go ahead and splatter. Nice. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. Okay. Oh, I'm going to leave it like that. I like that a lot. All right. So that obviously has to dry. And what I did want to do was I did want to bring his eye out just a little bit like that. Okay. So that one, and again, it has to dry, but this one is going to end up sliding right in here. So this is a pocket. Look at the colors. They're pretty good. Did pretty good on matching them up. See how like there's the pink, there's the black, there's the orange. Pretty, right? There's some yellow. That matches super well, really well. But I'm going to let this be. I'm going to let it dry before I make a mess. So I'm going to put that down. And that is it. So thank you so much for being here. Again, check out, all of the information below. If you would like to participate, just let Sheree and or myself know, and we will add your link to our description boxes, and you will add ours to yours. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you next Friday. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.